Welcome to the news on NTA International. I am Stella Inamiti, and the sign language interpreter is Taiwo Ozoma. Now the headlines. President Tinubu's reforms get commendation for enhanced businesses environment in Nigeria. As Nigeria joins other countries to mark this year's World Cancer Day, Nigeria's First Lady calls for collective responsibility. Plus, Rwanda-backed rebels in eastern Congo agreed to a ceasefire. President Bola Tinubu has been commended for the various reforms of his administration, which have enhanced the good climate for businesses to thrive in Nigeria. The outgoing president, ExxonMobil upstream, Liam Malon, gave the commendation as he visited the president at the State House. He expressed appreciation to the president for what he described as encouragement for investments in the country. Malon, who is proceeding on retirement at the multinational oil company, also introduced his successor, Dan Aman, to the president.
Strong support from this administration to make the transition of our shallow water business to Seplat Energy. We're very excited. That will unlock potential for all of Nigeria. That's number one. And secondly, the administration's support, in particular with the president's directives to encourage investment in the deep water, will, in my view, set us up for many years to come with many exciting developments. So this administration has been extremely supportive of the potential to expand oil and gas, low emissions oil and gas in this country. Very supportive.
Is currently embarking on one of the biggest oil projects in Nigeria, and the incoming president upstream says the company is at the moment considering expanding the scope of investment in the Nigerian oil and gas sector.
We're looking forward now on a refocused business focused on deep water. We have a lot of exciting prospects and opportunities that I've reviewed with the team just yesterday, and we're looking forward to advancing those as quickly as we can with the support of the President's directives, the support of the government, and we're very excited about the future here.
President Bola Tinubu has declined assent to the bill seeking establishment of the Federal University of Education, Numan, Adamawa State, which was passed by the National Assembly last year. The president conveyed his decision to the House of Representatives in a letter read at plenary by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu. President Tinubu cited wrong allocation of presidential powers in Section 22 of the bill, among other drafting errors, as reasons for refusing assent.
I'm declining assent to the bill due to the following reasons. A. Section 22 of the bill accords the authority to consent to the disposal of land to the governor and not the president, as ought to be the case in respect of land belonging to a federal government entity in the case of universities. 2. The word status is spelled as status in items 13 and 15 under arrangement of sections. 3. Prepositions of is omitted between the word award and degree in section 25(4) sub B, and the phrase 1/3 is spelled as 1/3 in Article 4, subsection 3 of the third schedule to the bill.
Assembly correspondent Michaire Ikben reports that the Senate and House of Representatives observed a minute's silence and adjourned plenary in honor of late House Deputy Chief Whip Adewumi Onanuga from Ogun State, who died on 15th of January this year. She was eulogized as the only female principal officer of the 10th Assembly, who also served as Chairman, House Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development in the 9th Assembly.
For her life and the legacies she left behind. She impacted a lot on our community and everybody has good words to say about her.
Senate notes that Honorable Onanuga's resilience and exemplary leadership in championing her legislative advocacy and activism, most particularly in the promotion of gender equality, had left an enduring legacy as far as women's participation in politics is concerned.
She was a strong lawmaker, creative, innovative, courageous, capable, and unbowed, even in the face of adversity.
We will miss her not only in Parliament, not only in her constituency, but also all the females in this country. We are mourning her right now.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has pledged his support for the Niger Creates project as part of efforts for the nation's economy to be transformed. The Vice President said Niger Creates, an enterprise championed by Mo Abudu, has the potential of being Nigeria's flagship cultural diplomacy initiative that will truly project the country through tourism, arts, music, and fashion at the global stage. He commended her contributions to the development of the entertainment industry in Nigeria, noting that there were a lot of positives about the country that should be exported to the international community. He invited Abudu to join the federal government's IDIS team and deploy her expertise to help actualize the administration's goals in the technology and creative sector. Mo Abudu said Niger Creates is an initiative that will help celebrate excellence in Nigeria's creative sector. The Niger Creates initiative will debut in the United Kingdom during the 2025 summer. Nigeria joins other countries of the globe to mark this year's World Cancer Day with determination to tackle cancer through inclusivity. Basi Taekbang reports that this year, world leaders are taking a shift to a quality cancer care as a care priority that will be more responsive. We'll bring you that report shortly. Every individual, regardless of their socioeconomic status, deserves the opportunity to live a healthy life free from the devastating impact of cancer. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, stated this in a message marking this year's World Cancer Day. She notes that cancer is a burden on millions of individuals and families around the globe, and as such demands a collective responsibility to combat, especially in Nigeria, where it is a leading cause of death. The First Lady, however, expresses hope that with determination and partnership, the narrative can change. The theme of this year's celebration, United by Unique, she notes, highlights the significance of adapting cancer treatments to cater to the unique needs of each individual. Nigeria joins other countries of the globe to mark this year's World Cancer Day with determination to tackle cancer through inclusivity. Basi Taekbang reports that this year, world leaders are taking a shift to a high-quality cancer care as a care priority that will be more responsive.
For many, the word cancer once felt like a death sentence, a diagnosis filled with fear, uncertainty, and the overwhelming burden of treatments. But today, the story is that of survival, resilience, and second chances, thanks to early detection and better access to care. They are here to remind us that cancer is not always the end.
We reaffirm our collective commitments to tackling cancer through unity, inclusivity, and innovation.
Cancer remains the leading cause of death worldwide, claiming about 8.2 million lives every year. Yet, experts say 1/3 of these deaths could be prevented. Many cancers, when detected early, are treatable and even curable.
We should not focus just on treating the disease, but we should adopt perspective and experience of individuals, carers, families, and communities as participants in and beneficiaries of health system that respond to the need and preferences in every way.
To help prevent vaccine-preventable cancers like cervical cancer, the Minister of State for Health is calling on parents and religious leaders to embrace the vaccination program, a crucial step in protecting young girls from future risk.
I'm happy to announce that sequel to the approval of Mr. President, we have finalized plans to establish and upgrade 6 federal teaching hospitals with new radiotherapy and nuclear medicine facilities across the country.
I also want to call the attention of the federal government of Nigeria to the fact that the burden of cancer size is increasing in the country, particularly some cancers that we have neglected over the years, specifically colorectal cancer.
But beyond medical screening, simple lifestyle changes, quitting tobacco, cutting down on alcohol, eating healthier, and staying active can drastically reduce the chances of developing cancer. Cancer per se is a disease of public health importance. Hence the theme for this year's celebration, United by Unique, highlighting the need to personalize cancer care and treatments. It also marks the beginning of a 3-year campaign, starting from 2025 to 2027. Basi Taipan, NTA News.
Many thanks, Basi. And still on health, paying critical attention to abdominal pains and changes in bowel habits, medical experts at a symposium on oncology care say will go a long way in reducing the number of deaths that occur from colorectal and colon cancers. Elizabeth Omorui brings us details of the eye-opening event on cancer prevention and management.
As nations strengthen advocacy on cancer for 2025, colon and colorectal cancers took center stage at this symposium. These types of cancers, medical experts say, can exhibit similar symptoms which may not appear until the disease advances. They are complex diseases that involve multiple genetic and environmental factors such as family history, genetic syndromes and mutations, diet, physical inability, obesity, and smoking.
You will see many cancer patients, when they are diagnosed of cancer, their major problem is usually not the cancer, but where will I get the fund to take care of this? What we are doing is to stimulate action, to bring in policymakers, do research, get cancer survivors to share their stories so that policymakers will look at this as a problem.
Common symptoms include blood in stool, fatigue, bloating, and gas. Oncology care, which captures cancer treatment, medical experts say requires a multifaceted approach to reduce deaths from cancer.
I'm urging the government to subsidize cancer drugs for us. It's very expensive.
The government is committed to mobilizing more resources to improve cancer prevention, early detection, and treatment in addition to its already established National Cancer Health Fund. I urge you, take charge of your health. Get informed, get screened, get vaccinated.
At the symposium, a movie of survivors of colon and colorectal cancers was premiered. The theme of this year's awareness is United by Unique. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Now to speak more on efforts at tackling the cancer burden in Nigeria is Professor Musa Ali Gombe, Director, Clinical Services, National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, NICRAT. Glad to have you on the news.
Hello, viewers.
Now, what are the common types of cancer in Nigeria and the underlying risk factors?
The common type of cancers in Nigeria overall is the breast cancer. According to the Globocon 2022 statistics, it's estimated to almost be about 30% of all cancers that we have in Nigeria. This is followed by prostate cancer in males, and then cervical cancer also in women, and then colorectal cancer, which is also seen both in men and women also. These are the 4 most common cancers in the country. The cause of cancers is not known per se. It's not like mosquito bites you and you get malaria. Usually, cause of cancers, what we refer to as the risk factors or associated factors, which are seen in individuals that have high chances of getting those cancers. And those risk factors are not, in common for all cancers. They are unique to individual cancers. For example, the risk factors for breast is different from that of cervix, it's different from that of prostate, and it's also different from that of colon. However, there may be some shared associated risk factors. So if I may just mention a few, the risk factors for breast cancer, the most important one is being a woman. Women have a 99% risk compared to men when it comes to cancer of the breast. However, there are other associated risk factors such as increasing age, exposure to, there's something we call prolonged estrogen exposure. That means a woman that has prolonged estrogen in her system without breakage, such as those that have not given birth, or those that gave birth lately after the age of 30, or those that have been on some form of hormonal treatments or contraceptions. They have higher risks than women who have not had those contraceptions. And also, fatty diets, and a very important risk factor is family history. Family history may be as a result of either genetic makeup, that is, they have some genetic abnormalities in that family that increase the risk of breast cancer, or there is something in the environment that they share commonly. Is it their food? Something in the environment that can increase their risk. So family members are 2 to 3 times higher in terms of risks of getting breast cancer compared to non-family members who have not had, compared to family members who have not had breast cancers. If you take cervical cancer has been associated largely with human papilloma virus. Human papilloma virus is a viral infection that affects the cervix, and that is why these days we talk about human papilloma virus vaccine. It is seen in mostly in about, it's associated with about over 90% of cervical cancers. The other risk factors include increasing age in women, and then also multiparity, that is multiple number of pregnancies, and also multiple partners, or if you have a partner that has multiple partners. Smoking and some form of immune suppression, especially HIV, are also associated with cervical cancer. While in terms of prostate cancer, the most important risk factor, of course, prostate cancer is only found in men, and it affects the prostate, and the most important risk factor is age, increasing age. However, smoking, genetic risk factor, family history, and also exposure to some chemicals such as the Agent Orange has also been incremented as part of the risk factors for prostate cancer. While for colon cancer, the most important risk factor is diet, actually. Diets that are high in fiber are protective, while those that are low in fiber, they have risks because of the transit time that they spend in the intestine, and also history of family history of some genetic conditions or family history of colonic cancers. We call them the HNPCC and APC in short form. These are genetic predispositions to colonic cancers, and then also other, atypical polyps. Some people have some atypical polyps in the intestine that can turn to be cancers, and also exercises and, have been found to be protective, and obesity also been found to increase the risk of colon cancer.
Okay, Prof, we would like you to speak more on this year's theme of the World Cancer Day, United by Unique.
Yes, the UICC has selected this team. Usually, teams are selected every 3 years to run from 2025 to 2027, and this year's team is United by Unique. We know unique in the sense that everybody has his own story to tell. Everybody has his own peculiarity. Everybody has his own experience. Everybody has been affected by cancer differently. However, we unite with these our different stories so as to fight and control cancer. That is what it's meant by United by Unique.
Many thanks, Professor Musa Ali Gombe, for your insights. We'll take a short break now. When we return, more reports. Stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Nigerian First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu has appreciated Nigerians for holding forth for President Tinubu and still believing that the country will get to the desired destination. She gave this indication in Minna when she paid private visits to former Nigerian military leaders, Generals Ibrahim Babangida and Abdulsalami Abubakar, at their hilltop residences in company of the wife of the Vice President, Nana Shetima. Fatima Ali reports.
Senator Oluremi Tinubu was in Minna partly to attend to a state function and to present 100 million naira to the wife of Niger State Governor Fatima Bago for onward distribution to victims of Diko Junction tanker explosion. She said it is only fair to check on the two former Nigerian leaders, Generals Ibrahim Babangida and Abdulsalami Abubakar, whom she describes as fathers of the nation.
It's been a lot for us trying to juggle and, stabilize the government to an extent, because with subsidy removal, people were getting a lot agitated. But we thank them the patience, because if they didn't know we can do it, it's not what we should be talking about. But we thank Nigerians. But, we talk, and Daddy, on the other hand, has always encouraged Mr. President. So it's only right for us to come and visit them. The other first ladies that live in Abuja, we go to them. They are the fathers of our nation, the patriarchs of this great nation. It's good for us to pay our respect. So that's why we are here.
I want to thank the First Lady for what she has doing and will continue to do, especially for the young children, the motherless, and the orphans. She has done very well during her second year in office. She has done the public, Nigerian public, and she has done a lot of things in order to bring out Nigeria. And she is Nigeria's #1 ambassador. I want to thank Your Excellency for what you are doing.
The wife of the president, however, appreciated Nigerians for believing that things will only get better. Fatima Ali, NTA News.
The president of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Aliyu Toure, has received the first edition of the ECOWAS Regional Economic Outlook. A team led by the Commissioner, Masanje Toure Ise, in charge of economic affairs and agriculture at the ECOWAS Commission. The report outlined economic trajectory in member states with the theme Review of Regional Economic Dynamics in the Face of Political Instability and Security Threats, an analysis of the current economic challenges and opportunities facing ECOWAS member states. The report examines the importance of peace and stability as drivers of development, in line with ECOWAS Vision 2050 for a prosperous and peaceful region. The report is to guide the Commission in its intervention support to member states to assist in economic recovery and growth. Rwanda-backed rebels who took control of Goma in eastern Congo have declared a unilateral ceasefire effective Tuesday in the area for humanitarian reasons. The M23 group made the announcement in response to calls for a safe passage for aid and the needs of hundreds of thousands of displaced persons. UN spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric expressed concern over rising health risks with the situation in Congo. He noted that while some economic activities are resuming, schools and banks are still closed, while food shortages persist. The UN reported that at least 900 individuals have died and 2,880 have been injured in the recent violence surrounding Goma, the largest city in eastern DR Congo. Up next is the weather forecast within Nigeria and major cities around the world. And this is where we end the news. I am Stella Inameti, and the sign language interpreter is Taiwo Uzoma. Thanks for watching.